And we move down to the start list for the Arms Men's Single Sculls Final A. In lane 1, as you can see on your graphic on the screen, we have Pierre Morel of Canada. Lane 2, Ronald Harvey from the United States. Lane 3, Tom Agar from Great Britain. Dominic Moneypenny, the champion last year, from Australia in lane 4. Israel Eli Naoui in lane 5. And Patrick Loho from France in lane 6. They're off. And Patrick Loho from France appeared to me to really thrash it off the start there, didn't he? And although he qualified presumably slowest for this final, which is why he's out there in lane 6, he appears to have taken an early lead from Dominic Moneypenny of Australia in lane 4, the reigning champion. But Moneypenny's got back onto the scene, and beside him on the far side, Tom Agar from Great Britain in second place, and beyond him indeed Ronald Harvey from the United States in third place over in lane 2. They managed to drop Pierre Morel at this early stage of the race, but he's not far behind and could well get back on terms. And Israel Eli Naoui in lane 5, you can see his bow ball there, second up from the bottom of the picture. But the early order has Tom Agar of Great Britain in the lead. He really is an arms-only sculler from the style. His body is fixed forward. That's the posture he uses, and he's doing an extremely effective sculling job, drawing on those sculls through. Moneypenny, much more jerk of the head and much more upper body thrown into it, but not moving so efficiently.
Dominic has been the world champion for the last 2 years and run quite easily, so this has been a challenge for him this week because he had to go into the repecharges and come that way through to the finals. But he's got a great determination, Dominic, and he's going to fight all the way down the course.
You can see it on his face right now. But it is a very interesting contrast on exactly the points we were discussing earlier. He has got some upper body movement. The chest strap is fixing him, but he has got a range of movement in the upper spine, and he's using every bit of it, partly with this very pronounced throw back of the head, which must be throwing his weight forward and helping to pull the boat along.
They learn different ways to sort of get the most out of the boat, and these athletes, as you can see, are highly trained and well developed to use all of the muscles that they are able to use and have.
Now, single scullers the world over know that the big threat in a single, because you're gripping both of the two oars, is that your forearm will seize up, that the muscles will build up the lactic acid and that you simply won't be able to move them. And it would seem to me that the challenge for somebody using the style of Tom Agar from Great Britain in lane 3, where it really is all arms, and he's drawing them right under the chest, which is curved over the top of him at the finish, and the challenge for him will be to stop the lactic acid building up in the forearm and to keep that boat moving without, he's got to relax his arms at the same time as using only them to work. So in the recovery of the stroke, as he comes forward for each new stroke, he's really got to think about loosening off those arms and making sure he can move his fingers to keep them loose. Moneypenny, meanwhile, at a much higher rate of striking, keeping his style exactly the same. Now, he's got an interestingly developed arms. Most rowing athletes don't have much bicep because it isn't actually helping to pull the arms in, but they have very highly developed forearms. Now, we got a shot there of Moneypenny with a very highly developed bicep. Do you think that's from the rowing he does, or do you think that's from land training, from weight training?
Probably from land training and weight training, but maybe also he's building that up from his rowing, but he's probably an all-round.
It may be a function of his style that he's using the bicep in that way, but the bicep, which is the big muscle between the elbow and the shoulder on the front of your arm, is very pronounced in him, and less pronounced forearms than you would normally expect from a sculler. But Agar has held his lead. He's actually possibly increased it slightly. He's in the last 250 meters, 200 meters to go. Agar leading this, but we've got a very exciting race here, because coming up in third position, in bronze medal position at the moment, we have Eli Naoui from Israel in lane 5. He's come right up on contention, and he's giving a real threat to Moneypenny because he's moving his boat faster. He's got a very high rate of striking. He's just tapping the boat along, very short strokes, all arm movement. He's got no upper body, or very little upper body movement, and he's closed right up on Moneypenny, who is definitely under pressure. We have the much lower rating, longer stroking Agar in front, and this we will discuss later, the variation in technique and what coaches are finding out about how to make these boats move. But as we come into the line, it's going to be a gold medal for Great Britain, with Tom Agar in the lead as he comes up and challenging for silver medal. We've still got Moneypenny in position, but coming right up on him, and only just behind was Eli Nawi of Israel, taking the bronze medal and just missing out on silver. But there is a very satisfied and happy Tom Agar. Now, how long's he been in the sport, do you know?
Well, he wasn't here last year, so I'm assuming it might have been quite recently.
He's come into the sport, but he's clearly come in from a tremendous background somewhere else, because he's got real athletic style about him, and he's worked out how to move that boat. Now, tell me, what work is going on to find out whether you should have a short, choppy stroke like some of those athletes, or whether other than the evidence of our eyes, that the longer and limited in every way to the arms and the shoulders, nevertheless the longer stroke of a Moneypenny, of an Agar, is going to be more effective. Is work going on experimentally?
I think the coaches learn, because the athletes all have different capacities because of the nature of the disability. So the athletes have to try to adjust the technique to the athlete, obviously drawing upon their rowing experiences, coaching other...
Just read over that entire result there. Tom Agar in the first place, 5:13, in contrast with 5:28 last year, when we had probably a stronger tailwind. So that's an improvement in the event, as well as